Hey, this is Adam Ackers of TechieNetworker.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to customize the human WordPress theme. So at this point, you should have installed and activated the theme that you were going to use. If you're going to use human, then this video will be valuable. If not, then your theme will actually have different customization options. But it might still be valuable for you to watch this so you see how I go about actually customizing a theme. Okay, so if you're logged into WordPress, right, you're going to actually, if you're using the human theme, you're going to see this notification at the top that says, well, it depends. If you have installed the plugins as I showed you how to do in the previous video, then you're going to get this message that says the following recommended plugins are currently inactive, and then you're actually able to activate them right from here. Okay, I'm not going to do this in this video because at this point I haven't decided that I really need to use these plugins. But if in the future I do, I'll make the video that shows you how to do them, how to do that, and we can activate them at that time. So, so what you want to do is, again, there are two ways to customize your theme. So if we go under Appearance and then go to Themes, I'll just show you the different ways you can access the customization option. So right here, all right, the top left theme that you see here is always your active theme. And then right here, you're going to see Customize. All right, so if I click on that, it's going to take me to the settings to customize the theme. And these are the basic settings. So the first thing you can do is, like, under site identity, if you don't have a title and tagline there, you can put that in there. Site icon, I'm not doing anything with this. If you guys want to play around with some of the additional settings, by all means do that. I'm not going to show you everything. I'm just going to show you some of the main settings that I've changed. Okay, under widgets, when you click on widgets, generally what will happen is anywhere there's a widget area on your site, you'll see it right here. And then if you click on this arrow, then you're going to see the actual elements in the widgets that are in that particular widget area. Okay, so if you'll notice here, I have recent posts and search. By default, you might see other widgets in here. I just remove them. And to remove a widget, all you need to do is click on the drop-down arrow and then click on Remove. I don't recommend that you clutter your sidebar with a lot of these widgets. So I just have a widget for recent posts, and I have the search widget. Okay, that's it. Now, later on, we're actually going to be putting your opt-in form in the sidebar. All right, because that's really what you want to be most prominent on your website, is your opt-in form. You want people, when they land on your page, you want their eyes to be drawn to your opt-in form so they opt in. Okay, so we're not going to do anything else with that. And that's really all that I've changed here. For menus, in a separate video, I showed you how to add a menu. So all you need to do to add a menu to your site is through this setting here, through this menu option, you can actually create and assign menus to the different menu areas. Okay, so it's actually very simple to do. You can play around with this, but basically there's just the main menu location that I'm using is the top bar. Okay, that is this bar right here. Okay, I have a menu for that. There's a menu that you can actually add to the header, which would go below this logo. All right, if you've added a logo for your site, which I'm going to show you how to update in a minute, then you can actually have the menu show right here. In fact, why don't I just show you how this looks? So if you were to click this one, then you could actually uncheck this one. I definitely wouldn't be using both of these menus, but you can have, one or the other. I actually like it. I like it better on top like that. And then there's a footer menu as well. If you want to add a menu to the footer, I'll just show you what that looks like. Then you'll see it's down here. That might actually not be a bad place to put another menu. But for now, I'm going to actually just, I just want to show you what you guys can do. A lot of this is going to be your own personal preference. Okay, so that's all there is for this theme in this like main settings area. Okay, these are like all the basic settings. But here's what's cool about human is if you come under appearance here, you're going to see theme options. These are additional theme options. And what I'm really impressed with this theme is all of the additional options you get for customization. It's actually really awesome. Okay, so let's just go through a few of these. I'm not going to spend too much time here. I encourage you guys to kind of play around and and you know, just play around with these options and get it to look the way you want it. So basically, in terms of the main options that I would make sure you set, obviously you want to have responsive layout on. Okay, that means your site's going to be responsive. It's going to look really good on a mobile device. All right. I definitely show the sidebars. I use one sidebar, and I'll show you where you set that up. Under these options, a favicon is basically if you want like a little icon to show up by your URL, you can have one of these created. It's just a 16 by 16 pixel like image that can be sort of like a symbol of your site or whatever, right? And it'll show up. Your favicon will show up in the actual URL bar right beside your URL if you want to use it. This other stuff for now, I would say I didn't mess with any of this. Okay. For blog, I added my heading and subheading, and just so you guys see where this or how this looks, I'll show you where that goes. Open link in new. I'm just opening a new window. Okay. So if you add this, come on. So if you add a heading and subheading, it shows up right underneath here. Whatever you have, whatever you put there is going to show up right underneath your logo. Okay? Excerpt length. This is for, so an excerpt is basically when you create a blog post, if you want like an abbreviated amount of like text in your post to show up on the home page, you can designate the length of your excerpt here. And what it's going to do is instead of showing the whole blog post on your home page, it's just going to show the excerpt. Okay, and you can change this. You know, you can move the slider to have more words. That's really nice because on your home page, you don't want the whole blog to show, especially if you have longer content. You want them to have, you know, to click through to the actual blog post. It just makes your home page look nicer. Featured post, again, this is the kind of stuff you guys can play with. I didn't change any of this stuff, so I'm not really gonna mess with this. Header, this is where I added a logo. Okay, so you can just add a logo, and then that logo will display at the top. Site description, if you turn that on, it's going to actually display a description, basically your tagline right beside your logo. I turned this off because I thought it was too much, you know, stuff at the top. It just looked too cluttered. But again, this is stuff you guys can all play with. In fact, I don't want to like, I don't want to waste too much time on this. I'd rather you guys just, you know, look around and play around with this stuff. For footer, you can choose like to add footer widget areas. I've left it as a default, which is no widget columns. But again, just play around with this stuff. Layout, for layout, I chose the left side or the right sidebar, but you can actually use two sidebars. You can use a left sidebar. You can play around with this. Okay. Let's see. For sidebars, the sidebar top boxes. Okay, so in this theme, oops. So in this theme, come on. The sidebar top box is this area right here where it says follow, and then it has your different social networks. I'm going to get to explaining how you add these in a second. But if you want to have this area show up on your blog, you know, where they can say where they can follow you in your different social networks, you can keep it there. Otherwise, you can turn it off. And I'm actually trying something. I'm turning mine off because I don't want this area to be prominent. I don't want them going off of my blog to my social networks. I want their eyes to be drawn to my opt-in form, which we're going to add in the videos that are coming up, okay? So I'm turning it off. You guys can turn it on if you want. This other stuff I didn't mess with. Okay, for social links, this is actually where you can connect your social network. So if you click on, let's see, if you click on Add New, what you can do then is you can get your icon name, and what you can do to add an icon name is if you click on this link where it says View All, it will actually take you to this page where you can get the abbreviated icon names for the different social networks. So if you do a search for like Facebook, for example, uh-oh, come on. Okay, this is the these are the abbreviations for the different icons. So if you want like a little Facebook logo like that, you would just say Facebook-official. And then if you go back to your theme, where it says icon name, you would have to put that in there. And that actually pulls from this library. We'll create that icon for you. Okay, and then your link would be a link to your actual like Facebook page or whatever it is that you want to connect out to. Okay, and then you would click on add new. All right, so like if you see how I did this, if you click on edit, I have connect on Facebook. I wanted the little Facebook square icon, so the code for that is fa-facebook-square, and then the link goes to Kristen's Facebook page. Okay, so that's basically how you add these things. And then what I did with this one, watch the videos, connects to our YouTube channel. So again, I went watch the videos, fa-youtube-play, it'll show the little YouTube play icon, and then the link goes to her YouTube channel. So that's how you add the different little social media buttons to that as social links on your site. Okay, and then for styling, I did do some styling things here. What I did is, for these different colors, you can choose. I mean, you guys can just play around with the colors. Okay, I don't want to like waste time on this, but this is like stuff you guys can just do as a way to get it to look how you want it to look. Okay, so once I did that, and if you want to restore these all back to like the factory defaults, the default settings for the theme, you can just click on reset options. Otherwise, you can just click on save changes. So after saving the changes, then this is what it looks like. Boom. Okay, obviously it looks a little weird because there's no content created. I'm going to get to actually showing you how to create your first blog post and all that in a video that's coming up. But I just wanted to show you, how you can play around with the different settings and, to get the site to look how you want it with this theme. All right. So with all that said, that's all for this video. If you have specific questions, you can ask them in a comment below this video, and I will see you in the next video.